elections. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu stated this at an interagency consultative meeting on election security. Mia Ogidi again reports.
Political party offices getting busier, steps by party chieftains faster, and INEC also busy in the internet space, chatting with stakeholders as the race to the number one seats in Edo and Ondo states heightened. More than 2.2 million registered voters warming up in Edo State for September 19th and over 1.8 million registered voters on the wings for the Ondo October 10th day of decision. INEC stakeholders meeting with resident electoral commissioners, civil society organizations, the media and the security agencies, though in separate days, ended this Friday, June 5. All done online.
Are you hearing me?
So thank you very much, representative of the NSA.
Hello?
Hope you can hear me very clearly.
Internet challenges experienced in the new normal. Such movements are inevitable, the INEC chair says on a lighter note. 15 political parties as of Friday, June 5, have indicated interest to conduct their party primaries in Edo, and INEC gives advice to the political parties for smooth conduct in the primaries and the need for security agencies to be on the alert.
Already there are warning signals. The security agencies need to act proactively. An early engagement with the political parties and aspirants is necessary in order to create the atmosphere for peaceful primaries and consequently peaceful elections.
The 10-point policy document on the conduct of the elections in the midst of COVID-19 was at the center of discussion, zooming into the issue of no party or candidate branded face mask at the polling units and the issue of social distancing in all the election activities. Mia Ogidi, NT News.
Give more clarification on the upcoming primaries and election in the state is the HOD, Voter Education and Publicity, INEC Edo State, Timidi Wariowe. So you're welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, let's go straight. The last report, do you share in the concern just expressed by the INEC chairman?
Yes, definitely. The chairman, by virtue of his position, is having privileged, information at his disposal all the time. And even we that are resident in Edo State, we are aware of the utterances of key political, actors. I don't want to mention names. So those utterances sort of is like a call, a call to violence. That is the way some persons will look at it. So I think the chairman is right. He knows what he's doing, and what he said, I think, is correct. So I agree with him.
So even with this fear, how confident are you, that the elections will run fluently?
Yeah, definitely we're going to conduct the elections, and I think that the elections will be free, fair, and credible. The first set of elections, that is the primaries, and all the primaries are going to hold in the month of June, this month, from 2nd to 27th. And we want a peaceful primary. That is what we want as a commission. We are talking about deepening democracy, and if primaries are not peaceful, if there are problems here and there, this whole idea of talking about deepening democracy will not emerge. And if democracy is not deepened, then we are going nowhere. So we want the primaries to be peaceful. Let them conduct their primaries in a very peaceful manner. Let winners emerge, and then they send the names to us.
Yes. So have you made arrangements to ensure that the pandemic containment protocols are not violated in the course of the election?
Yes, we are trying as much as possible to make sure that we have an election that will be credible, and then an election that people's lives will not be jeopardized. We're talking about the health and safety, safety conditions, of the voters. So all the COVID-19 protocols, we've embedded them into our policy, which very soon will come out as our guidelines. So, and we want the voters and every other stakeholder to follow those protocols so that we'll have a seamless process, and then people will exercise their franchise, and then also, at the end of the day, we don't want anybody to have infected by COVID-19.
Okay, you are the head of voter education and publicity. What specifics are you addressing in your voters education to all stakeholders now?
Well, the most important thing right now is conducting elections during COVID-19. There are new COVID-19, as we all know, is novel, but there are new areas that we are looking at, and that is what we are going to concentrate on, the voter sensitization. Fine, in every election there are new guidelines which we have to sell to the public, which we have to carry out that enlightenment. Yes. So this one is more of bringing in the COVID-19 protocols into the electoral process. So that is basically what we are trying to do. We will liaise, we will collaborate with all the stakeholders, especially the media. That's why I'm here also. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay.
The civil society organization and National Orientation Agency, every relevant stakeholders will be mobilized to carry out this sensitization so that every part of the state, every voter will know what he's supposed to do and what he's not supposed to do on the day of election.
Well, it's safe to say that this process will be, a little bit tedious. What support, do you wish from stakeholders like security agencies, state government and parties? What support do you require to ensure that the process is seamless?
Well, state governments, I don't really know what area they can come in, but I think that is to make sure that there is a conducive atmosphere in the state for people to vote. Other stakeholders, political parties, of course, they should also carry out sensitization, okay, because they are the direct beneficiaries of every electoral process. They shouldn't leave this whole idea of doing this sensitization, telling the people, to come out and vote and making every necessary arrangement for people to know their rights, what they are supposed to do. They shouldn't leave it entirely in the hands of INEC. So they should also carry out the sensitization. And then every other stakeholder should also join INEC. The media, the CSOs also join INEC, in one way or the other to contribute their quota so that we'll have a free, fair, credible election.
And a safe election at that too.
A very safe one, yes.
Thank you very much, sir, for coming today. And that has been the Head of Department, Voter Education and Publicity, INEC Edo State, Timidi Warewe. It's time now for our first break. When we return, Panorama continues. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control has confirmed 328 new cases of COVID-19 in the country. This brings the total number of confirmed cases in Nigeria to 11,844. 3,696 have been discharged so far, with 333 deaths. According to NCDC, Lagos recorded 121 new cases, FCT 70, Bauchi 25, Rivers 18, Oyo 16, Kaduna 15, Gombe 14, while Edo and Ogun have 13 cases each. Other states that recorded new cases are Jigawa 8, Enugu 6, Kano 5, Osun and Ondo have 2 cases each. Edo State recorded its index case of COVID-19 in March. Since then, the number of confirmed cases has continued to rise. Let us join Goodluck Enaini, who is at the Stella Obasanjo Hospital Isolation Center, for a situation report.
Thank you, Obehi. This is the Stella Obasanjo Hospital Isolation Center, one of the centers put in place by the Edo State government for COVID-19 patients. Of all the centers put in place, Stella Obasanjo happened to be the largest, with over 450 bedded facility. Now, so far, the state has recorded a total of 2,741 suspected cases of COVID-19 across 17 local government areas, and 351 confirmed cases spread across 15 local government areas. It has also recorded 1,296 line-listed contacts who have completed the compulsory 14-day follow-up and tested negative. The number of persons of interest stands at 346, with 17 deaths and a case fatality rate of 5.0%. With me is Dr. Andrew Obi, Incidence Manager, COVID-19 Edo State. What action is the state government taking to flatten the curve?
We have built also our treatment capacity base to be able to accommodate the treatment of at least 500 persons who test positive. And so that is the reason why our strategy is very, very coordinated.
Is there any hope now that the lockdown has been relaxed?
So we are going to be seeing, maybe shortly in the next couple of days to weeks, we are going to be seeing more enforcement, and people will now need to be held accountable.
That's the situation here at the Stella Obasanjo Isolation Hospital Isolation Center. Back to the studio now.
Many thanks. Good luck. Nigerian Air Force has trained 38 personnel with the requisite nursing skills to respond to the growing need for prevention and treatment of coronavirus infection. Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar, in a message, told the foresight of nurses graduating at the Nigerian Air Force School of Sciences and Aviation Medicine, Kaduna, reiterated the resolve of the force towards training and retraining of personnel for efficient discharge of their duties. Suleiman Abdullahi Igachukwu reports.
These are student nurses after a 6-month preliminary session preparatory to their clinical training in the Nigerian Air Force School of Medical Sciences and Aviation Medicine. As it is in nursing tradition, this, among other induction rituals, symbolizes their commitment to serve and achieve professional excellence in the Nigerian Air Force nursing profession.
We are aware that a lot is expected from us as student nurses, especially in terms of discipline, hard work, loyalty, and perseverance.
In his message delivered by Air Secretary, Nigerian Air Force, Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar says, realization of the imperative of highly trained and motivated healthcare personnel in the fight against coronavirus pandemic and national defense and security informed the training in new skills of nursing to enable them contribute optimally to national health requirements.
Considering the prevalent circumstances of COVID-19 pandemic, this will go in no small way in helping the country in general to handle the pandemic.
The first set of the students will undergo additional 3-year clinical training at the school, in addition to their practical contributions to health services in the Nigerian Air Force. In Kaduna, I am Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachkun.
COVID-19, the Speaker, House of Representatives, Femi Gbadabiamila, says the National Assembly will engage houses of assembly across the 36 states on the need of the domestication of the Child Rights Act and Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. While hosting gender-based civil society organizations, the Speaker promised effective legislation on sexual-based violence to conform with current realities.
Part of the resolutions we reached yesterday was to even make sure we start that every police station establishes a unit for sexual offenses, separate from everything else. And as part of the resolutions that we reached, again, police culpability, aiding and abetting. It was brought up on the floor yesterday. It's part of the resolutions that the House reached yesterday. So we are taking state of emergency, was brought up yesterday. So that's why I said we're on the same page.
The group that the National Assembly is in solidarity with and support of all efforts at eliminating gender-based and all forms of violence and abuse. The representatives of the CSOs demanded that a state of emergency be declared on domestic violence against women and make such offenses criminal since victims do not come forward. And now sports. Live transmission of the German Bundesliga continues this Saturday on the